probably might like if I put in this level. I was literally like this for probably like half an hour.
I thought you actually turned your camera so you wouldn't have to do that.
Well, and that's why I kept the finger in view. So I had to do this.
Wouldn't it have been easier to change your finger? Just like hold your finger in from the side.
No, because then gravity doesn't work on the hair that way.
Oh, okay.
Our next nightmare, I'm gonna roll a d6, 1 and 2. We're gonna go into Bright. 3, 4 is Jade. 5, 6 is Noralai. 4. Hey, Jade! You want to explore a nightmare?
Okay, let me get some Alice Cooper on.
Okay. Let's... We're going to set the scene here. Alrighty. Are you all ready for this next part?
Yes, I am ready. Just turn that down a little bit so you can see me better.
Okay.
Ba-doo.
Jade, you can hear outside. It sounds like the maybe one of the neighbors is having a goat being kind of prodded down the street, and as you're coming to, you can feel a very warm, wonderful feeling on your skin, as like a morning sunbeam has just been slowly crawling across your skin. In fact, as you reach to the side, there's even a cat is curled up in your arm. Though the cat suddenly skitters away as a door poof, bangs open, and you hear, "Mom! Mom! You gotta wake up, Mom! Come on, Mom, wake up! Wake up! We made breakfast for you, Mom!"
What? Jade kind of goes to her feet and immediately ends up going, Did I forget? Did I forget again? I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. Okay.
Mom, come on! You've slept in. We've made breakfast, and they're tugging at your hands to help you get up out of bed. And
it's okay, honey. It's okay. Mommy's right here. I'm still a little groggy. That's all. I'm hearing weird noises right now. So, no. She stands up and just looks at this child like, what the? Trying to take on the role. Though she is heavily confused, she wasn't 100%. When did she change the role? She kind of walks, placing the hand on the child's shoulder as she ends up going, like trying to scoot him out the room. Like, come on, let's go, let's see what you did.
It looks like a pair of siblings, a son perhaps around 8 years old, and a daughter around 10, and they're like, yo, come on. Oh, you must have slept really long. We had a big party. It was your anniversary to Dad. We were eating and everything was wonderful. We let you sleep in, and Dad had us made you breakfast while he's in the marketplace.
Well, I imagine he's quite a go-getter at this point. I'm sure that when he'll be back, he'll be very happy to end up seeing a lot of us. Dear, would you be able to... She kind of gestures. She's not sure where she's supposed to gesture for, any form of cutlery or what have you to eat, but she sits at this, I presume, a dinner table?
Yeah. You're in a very quaint countryside home. It's everything. It's all Goldilocks. It's not too big, not too small. It is has a good rustic appeal to it. The cat follows you out and is meowing, and one of the kids says that they'll make sure to feed the cat. You can hear outside. There's a couple chickens kind of clucking, pecking around in the yard. And outside, it sounds like some neighbors are having a nice morning talk about something or another.
She follows the child who's feeding the cat and kind of just assists as the chores, trying to end up keeping the guys, I guess. But mother? Why am I mother? When did I be? Who? So many questions. She tries to end up. She almost tries to force not to ask these questions. It's perfect. It really is. There's chicken end up hearing the chickens in the background. She looks at them as she looks at the morning rays of the sun, and she almost like a shower kind of pokes her head in the air to let the morning rays end up casting over her, and she looks at her hands in it and for the one time appreciates, and I kind of imagine that they're pristine, like she herself seems to fit in this environment very well. And she's
Jade, you're a country beauty. One of the kids, actually, as you're examining yourself, seems to be intuitive and catches on and brings out a very nice, like a silvered mirror, and holds it to you and says, "Look, we even were messing with, we're playing with your hair last night. Thank you for letting me do that." Your daughter, your daughter smiles, and you even have still kind of, well, you slept on it, so it's a little deflated, but you even have like a ribbon in your hair. "Oh, it was so much fun, Mother. Oh, I hope that we can do that again."
"We can do it as frequently as you'd like." She just smiles, and she almost beams with pride at this idea of, just this child that she ends up trying to fix the ribbon that she slept on inadvertently, just trying to feel it out and align it as she thinks that it has to be done. "You're such a dear." She drops to her knees, and she's trying. She's just trying to accept this right now as she holds on to the child. So in the back of her brain, there's that part of her that this is not mine. This is not mine. Why can't it be mine?
And the son looks over and says, "Well, that's fine. If you want Mom to teach you to do that, she's teaching me how to cook. Isn't that right? We're working on that new recipe, aren't we?"
Yes, of course, once Father gets back from the market, of course. He did go and grab the materials, right?
Yes, in fact, he should be... "I'm home!" And the kids just, "Yeah, Dad's home!" And they say, "Go, eat. He'll want you to eat." It's really good. And by the way, it's scrambled eggs, probably fresh from the chickens. It's bacon that still has a little bit of a sizzle and a little bit of a maple on it. This is normal, civilized, like, it's a good old-fashioned country breakfast. There's, like, biscuits and gravy, and all the fixins here, maybe even some grits. And they're like, Dad, in the other room off to the side, Dad, Mom's home, she's up. And he's, "Oh, all right, well, I'm gonna spill everything. Come on, kids." As you're hearing from the other room, and just a tamp. And Jade, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and if that hand doesn't feel comforting, it's strong, but it's not crushing or oppressive. It has, it has a beauty to it, but it's the hands of a working man. Someone who's earned his keep and has, is this that solid, reliable person. "Hello, dear," and he leans down and gives you like a kiss on your cheek. "I hope the kids didn't wake you up too early. Oh, we had quite the evening. I wanted you to sleep in, so I told him to cook you breakfast."
It's wonderful. She kind of is looking at a piece of bacon, and her hand's slightly trembling as she brings it to her mouth. She quickly wipes her hands and just gives this man, supposedly her husband, the largest hug that she could. She like hanging on to him almost like for dear life. Like, please, they just.
Oh, what's all this then, Jade dear? Come on, and like patting you on the back and giving you like some head pats as he kind of like picks you up and does a little bit of a twirl, and the kids are just like. Like, yeah, haha, me next, Dad, me next, and oh, of course, here, let me humor the kids, and he sets you down, and takes the boy and goes, woo, and the boy's like, I'm a dragon, and he flaps his arms.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay, lethality.
Yeah, you are. Just. She's in disbelief as she just tries to sit and enjoy the breakfast. She just watches her children, and her husband. She looks at him, just this feeling of love, of want, of being able to connect again. Oh, it's beautiful, and it's very much what you wanted.
Now, dear, I have it on me, and he pats himself down. I went and I had this especially made for our anniversary. Oh, yes, here it is. And he pulls out a harmonica, and he tells you, "I'm sorry, I sat on your old one, and I wanted to give you one that's a little bit sturdier and stronger." And well, here it in commemoration of our anniversary. And as you look, you two have been married for 20 years. And he hands it to you, and he says, "Could you play our favorite song?"
Jade grabs hold of the harmonica and looks at it. And just for the briefest of moments, she looks at it with this want, and then forgets for just a moment of the harmonica that she really received. And yet there's still that twinge in the air. A song from an old soldier. She places it to her lips and just checks the tune and kind of just muddles through playing, and just like as if everything else seems to be so natural. She only hopes that her muscles will just naturally take on a song that she can only assume she's played for 20 years.
And that is exactly what is occurring. This song comes to your lips naturally, beautifully. The harmonica is in perfect tune. Your lips are the first to touch this silvered, shining instrument that's glimmering with a morning sunbeam, and the kids are like humming or singing along as you're playing this, and they're Mom, oh, we love that song.
It's one of Mommy's favorites, Yeah, it's very special to her and your father. And it's the reason it keeps me remembering of happy times. And it makes me so happy to end up there and being able to share it with you again, especially after he sat on the last one. So hopefully he doesn't sit on this one. She tries to be joking, trying to choke back every instinct that's in her mind screaming at her.
Now, dear, if you're finished, a couple of the people in the marketplace were asking after you, and I told them, well, as soon as you had enough time to relax and enjoy your morning, that I would have you go down and say hi to him. And it's something that, well, I'll watch the kids. You've earned this. I think that a couple of them have some gifts for you in appreciation. You know how everyone here in town just absolutely adores you. You're our debutante of the village. So relax, and when you're ready, head out and make sure to go see Tazray and Raphael. They've been anxiously waiting for you.
I will. I most certainly will. I'm just she as she finishes the last little bite of a meal that it doesn't matter what it tastes like in her mind. It is the most delicious thing ever experienced. She brings the children and over, and she holds them both close, and he gestures for her husband to come in and hold them like a family. Her family. She doesn't believe she can say that. Her family.
You spend time with them. You eat this delicious breakfast. The sun continues to inch higher and into the day. It's a nice, pleasant warmth. It's not oppressive, and it's catching on all of the gardens and everything that is in this village. And Jade, the time has come for you to walk out to the market and go see your good friends, Tazray and Raphael. You've known them for quite some time, and it wouldn't hurt to catch up with them.
No, not at all. As she does so, she makes sure she picks up her best sundress. Her shoes are all been. There's a bit of pink that actually accents this sundress, as it's a vibrant yellow to mix with the flowers and the tone. And she keeps her hair straightened as to accent the cut of the dress. She ends up almost with a skip through the market. She ends up carrying her own handbag. She's prepared for the market. Going over, she looks at the buildings, the brightness of it all, and as she approaches, she goes. Her feet carry her. Again, much like the harmonica, I can only imagine steps that she's taken 1,000 times. Muscle memory at this point as she goes to see Tazray.
Yep. This is a picturesque, like, opening to Disney's Beauty and the Beast style, going through town. With a song in your heart and such. And in fact, if you didn't know it, you run into a friend of yours that you've also known for a while, who greets you on the street in a storefront. But here we have Celine.
Ah, Jade. How nice it is to see you this very, very fine morning. Tell me, has that little problem of yours cleared up?
My problem?
Yes,
Celine,
you came to me a little while ago saying that you were having issues with hearing things.
Jade, you can trust Celine. She is the town doctor, after all.
Yeah, after all, Celine, it's. I think it was just everything else, been a bit overwhelmed and might have slept something at the party last night, so that was entirely my fault. No. I am more than happy right now. I'm ecstatic.
Oh, wonderful.
It's good to see you. It's good to see the town. Everything is just the way I always wanted it to be.
Oh, wonderful. Now, if that issue does come back, just come and visit me in the surgery, and I will have something to give you for
it. Thank you. Celine, she places a hand on Celine's hand and looks her right in the eyes. You've always been so good to me, you know that?
I try my best.
I know. She continues to walk, and she's trying to put it out of her head. When did she say that she was hearing things? Why is she hearing things? No, she's not that person anymore. No, right now, she is a wife, a mother to two beautiful children, and no, that's not what it is. That was the nightmare. Look at this. And she just stops and literally looks, and I imagine seeing picturesque, she leans to literally smell the roses as she ends up doing so, and just trying to gravitate herself into, no, this is what counts.
Jade, how are you doing?
Oh, Lorelai, it's so good to see you. She grabs hold of your shoulders, kiss, kiss. Like, oh my, how have you been?
I've been good. Today was your anniversary, right?
You remembered.
Yeah.
I'm touched. Thank you so much, Lorelai.
Well, we've been friends for a long time. I was talking with my brother. He runs the jewelry store. To get you a little something, and she pulls out a little silver necklace with a jade pendant, and she's like,
Oh, it's beautiful. I better end up keeping this close and end up there. I would love to end up showing this to the kids. They would love it.
Yeah,
to end up seeing
I
it.
bet your husband would think you look just wonderful in it.
Yeah, well, hopefully he doesn't get jealous. But you know him. He's everything.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you so much, Norline. I gotta go. I gotta end up going to see some old friends.
Oh, of course. I'll see you around.
And Jade, you continue through the town, having run into the quaint country doctor Celine, and of course Norelai, and sister of the the jeweler in town as well. And everything it's bright, it's shiny, it's polished and reflects this pure sunlight.
Jade can't take her eyes off of it. She just holds on to it. Something so refined and something so clear. Every cut absolutely perfect. She's in love with it. She holds it close. She wants to wear it now, but she's gotta she's gotta end up showing this and have her husband put it on her. It's only fair after the wonderful gift that she was given.
As you're passing through town, you're getting a lot of other people are coming up to you, saying hello and happy anniversary. It seems like almost everyone knows that it's your 20th anniversary. And you also hear some rumors around town. I mean, apparently, one of the farmers has just been having some trouble with his livestock. Apparently, there's been some cattle rustling going on or something. As he's been missing some livestock, and it's been a bit of a scandal. But the sheriff, the sheriff has tried to really do things right, and in fact, the sheriff is Raphael, who's been out. He came back in from trying to investigate what's been happening, and his deputy Tazray is there. He's been minding the town while the sheriff has been out on a posse, just sort of hunting down these cattle rustlers.
Oh, it's so good to see you too. I hope that you've been having good luck.
We'll get to them. You're hearing the rumors.
Okay.
Yeah. You're hearing rumors of them, but you're going to go see them as the sheriff got back to talk to the deputy. But along the way to get there, you run into a third very familiar face, someone you've probably known for quite some time. And that would be a beautiful pink-haired Bright.
Best girl. She's never steered me wrong. It's like she can read the future or something. Every time I ask her for advice, everything turns out all right.
And I know that today's your anniversary, and I don't want to steal your thunder, but I have really good news. I wanted you to be the first to know, or at least the first human to know, and I wanted to tell you that Gerbo has asked me to marry him, and we're going to be getting married next month, and I'm just so excited. And ever since we've been neighbors, and I know it's weird that we're neighbors because I live in a gnome village and you live in a human one, but ever since then, it just seems like everything has been going so well. And also, I know it isn't much of a gift, but I just came back from the market, and I know you've been working on a really nice new recipe, and so I wanted to give you these bananas.
Oh, I was actually thinking about doing a banana nut bread tonight, so that is absolutely perfect, Bright. Again, you know things. It's amazing.
Bright, are you talking to Jade? And Gerbo's actually kind of sauntering up, yelling from behind you.
I am. It's so wonderful. Come say hello. I just told her the good news. Come say hello.
And so Gerbo comes tottering up beside you and just looks up at you and just, you You're a good person, Jade. I can't thank you enough. If it wasn't for you, me and kind of, well, here, so since Bright is over here on my screen, you know, Bright and I, we wouldn't be where we are today. We wouldn't be the people we are. And kind of, mwah, like it gives a big, and then of course you got to do that David the Gnome nose rub, like a gnomish kiss, by rubbing noses as well.
No, you two would have found each other eventually. I mean, you two are perfect for each other. And Bright, a little bit of marital advice: appreciate what you have, because you end up you hang on to that for as long as you can. It's to have those moments are so rare and so beautiful. And
thank you so
really
much.
happy with you.
And I hope that I can keep asking you for advice, because I know you've already had 2 children, and I think there might be another one joining us soon.
Ooh.
So I just hope they can be friends.
Well, congratulations.
That you're my very best human friend too, and I'll give her a big hug.
Well, not too big, I'm sure.
As big as I can. A little big hug, or a big little hug, I'm not sure which.
It's a hug that would hold the world, Brian.
And
that's all we
naturally,
Okay.
where you have a gnome, let alone several, I mean, little woodland creatures, like a squirrel is kind of showing up, birds are just sort of like landing around them. There's like some
I used to
innate
was
like
in the form
sparkles.
of a cricket.
There's a cricket in Bright's hair. That's always been the topic of town.
Oh, she's not staying today.
Oh, it's okay.
But there's a cricket here. I promise.
She'll find her.
There she is. There she goes.
Oh my!
Thank you.
That's more and more adorable every single time.
Thank you. We're an adorable people.
You are. I absolutely love gnomes. So she kind of kneels down and gives you a big hug and just kind of kisses you on the top of the head. And thank you so much. It means the world. Brian.
Thank you too. So we have to go. We have so many people to tell. We want the whole town to know. So I'll talk to you later tonight. Okay?
I'll be sending I'll let everybody know the good news. It's so good to end up sharing good news, and so much of it is happening at once.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Alrighty.
I run away. In case that wasn't clear.
Yep. So our love gnomes, which have birds around them, do kind of skip off, holding hands in public of all places, but so deep is their love that what do they care, right? And so you continue on, and you do reach the marketplace. A couple other people. There's one of the like old grannies in town who has a couple pies in her window, and she like leans out and like, oh, just pleasant stuff. Jade, I hear you've been working on a new recipe. Oh, we're gonna have to enter the pie baking contest at the county fair this summer. You better come up with something good. I'm gonna beat you this year.
Well, hey, it's okay. It's okay. Right now, I'll tell you right now, the biggest secret to a good pie, bananas.
Oh, but those are a foreign fruit. I think only the gnomes cultivate those. Oh, yeah. Don't you go cheating now, Jade. Come on.
It's not cheating if it's a gift.
Oh, that's fine. I've heard some scandalous things about those two anyway. I hear they hold hands in public.
The gas. No. Did you know that they're also here now fully wet? Apparently, we're not the only ones doing some baking.
Oh, clutch the pearls. I have the vapors. Oh, that's so delightful.
I know, isn't it? But I'm going to need to end up getting going. I have a lot of errands to run. Today's a busy day. Today's a wonderful day.
And I have quite the amount of biddies that I must gossip to about this.
I look forward to hearing it come back and knowing that I'm the one who spilled the beans. Shh.
All right, I'll give that one to you. And she, you know, waves you off. Go on, shoo, shoo. You lovebird yourself. Oh, youth. And she just sort of hangs out in the windowsill. Youth. I remember when I was that young and in love. So Tralala, Jade continues to go through the streets of this quaint country village here, and sure enough, you get to a point where there's a couple people who are surrounding Tazray and Raphael, and they seem to be kind of going over something, kind of giving orders, and they disperse as you come up, and sure enough. There is your town's tiefling sheriff and his trusty silver dragonborn deputy. And they both look up and, oh, Jade. Tazray is just he comes lumbering over because he's just a lovable lug. He's perfect for the role of deputy. Jade, it's good to see ya. Oh, come here. And he he doesn't crush you, but he Hulk picks you up and kind of gives you a shimmy as your feet are dangling under, off the ground.
It's good to see you too, Tazray. It's really good to see you. Let me down, big guy. Let me down.
No, sorry, I don't know my own strength.
No, you really don't. No, it's so good to end up seeing the both of you. Raphael, oh. I've been hearing such terrible things going on. Is everything all right?
Raphael, in his kind of smooth, smoky voice, kind of just tips his, he's got a nice sheriff hat on. Yeah, Jade, it's... for some of the outlying farmers, it hasn't been the best, but you know what? I'm on the case, and it's my job to give my life for the other people that I care about. And, I've been doing a little bit of investigation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard that it is your anniversary. You don't need to get mixed up in all this that's going on. I'll spare you the gory details. Let's just say that animals are missing.
I'm so sorry to hear that. But Raphael, please look after yourself. Nobody wants to see you go.
No. I had a great stakeout. There's this wonderful patch of flowers underneath a tree, and it offers the best view, Jade. I can see all around me for miles, and it makes for some very comfortable investigating.
I'm sure it does. I'll have to end up taking a look myself soon enough. Might have need of it. Well, Raphael, Tazray, you big lug. There's something that gets caught in her throat. She kind of, some kind of hesitation. Something, she tries to push it aside. I miss you two so much. Know that?
You miss us? Well, that doesn't make much sense. Tazray kind of scratches his scales.
Well, every hour that I don't end up seeing good friends, it feels like an eternity. It's one of the reasons why I'm coming out. I wanted to end up making sure that I meet everybody I can, because it's a wonderful life.
Well, me and Raph here, we do our best to try and keep things nice and comfy in our village. We don't want any harm to come to anyone.
No, of course not.
In fact, if you have a minute, I wanted to take you out to something special that I had arranged for you. Do you have a little bit of time?
Well, she looks at the items that she gathered and her ways through the market. Yes, of course. I would always make time for you, Tazray.
I'll get the card. In fact, I'll even drop you off when we're done. But I really want you to see this. Your husband already knows, and he wanted it to be a surprise for just you. So he's gonna lead you to he's gonna lead you over to the police cart, but it's probably also the ambulance, and it's probably also a couple other things that function in the village here. And Raphael, with again another sort of tip of his sheriff's hat, he saunters off, saying that he has a couple things that he needs to attend to, and Tazray, clup, 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 clup. You end up you go just to the edge of town, and there on the road that would on like the road in, there is a tree that looks like it was newly planted, and it's a tree that doesn't grow here locally. And he takes you out to it, and there's a little commemoration plaque, and it says, for loving service to our community, this tree is dedicated to Jade, and there's other names, but what the names are, but you're not really reading them, but it says Jade, and that really catches your eye. And he says, well, a couple people in town, and by that I mean quite a few, we passed the hat around, and we all threw in order to get this rare tree that grows, well, it grows elsewhere in Mesotopia. It was a little difficult to acquire. But it's a namesake, we thought. Look at the leaves. They're as beautiful, a beautiful jade green as you. And you see it in like the light catches, and you can see, just like you'd find in the mineral, like, some various veins of like other greens and sort of like splotches. And so it's almost like a living jade tree. And it's blowing in the breeze, and he says, and this is to commemorate everything you've done for us. Ever since you found us so long ago, Jade, you've been a part of the community. You've really brought people together. And it's really the least we can do to make sure that this town has something that recognizes you for all the effort you've put in and for all you've done for us.
Tazray, you all didn't need to do this. I'm humbled. But ultimately, this town, its people, that's what ended up mattering most to me. I got to see every one of you almost every day, and I got to grow up in a community that I knew was the best for raising a family. It's why I come out. The tree is beautiful. But you're all the ones who mean so much to me.
As you're saying that to Tazray, Jade, off in the distance you hear ding-da-ding, ding-da-ding, ding-da-ding. And Tazray doesn't have ears, so his I guess skull hole kind of like aligns in that direction. Oh. That's a town bell. Let's see. 3. That was a ding da ding, and he's counting on his 4 fingers here. A ding da ding. That's oh, that could be trouble. Jade, I want you in the cart until I know what's going on. I gotta keep you safe.
Okay. A little bit concerned, a little bit frightened, she jumps into the cart, tries to straighten out her nice sundress, and just kind of looks about like, what's going on? What's happening?
It's fine, Jade. I'll keep you safe. Stay low. Let's head back and see what's going on. All right? And he hops up like he got goes in, and ooh, and you start riding back into the village, and as you do so, that ga-ding ga-ding, ga-ding ga-ding, ga-ding ga-ding, it's getting louder and louder as you're approaching the source of the bell, and in fact you can see a couple tendrils of smoke that are starting to rise up from the village beyond. Well, I mean, not the village beyond, but like on the other side. You're just getting back into town on one side, and the smoke is coming from the other. And Tazray says, "Hang on, I'm gonna push this a little bit harder. All right, get through."
Okay.
And there are some people now that are running back. So they look like they're moving twice as fast because you're moving this way and they're moving the other way. And they're going like, it's an attack. And they're screaming, and like one of them just sort of like slams themselves inside a house, and you hear of a lock being thrown. And now at this point, Tazray in a mad fit, like he looks back. Jade, you all right? You hanging on?
Yeah, I'm all right. All right. I need to save my family's okay.
Okay. And you get to a point where you see that there are a couple townfolk. In fact, you see Norlai, Celine, and Bright, including her husband-to-be, have all gathered together as sort of like a town militia in order to help fend off. Maybe these are the cattle rustlers that are coming in. It's difficult to say because as Taz goes, "Whoa!" and he hauls back on the mule. And the cart and everything comes to a stop. He hops down. Raphael is already up and apparently confronting this gang. And it's difficult to see any details. They're wearing like very wide hats, like long ponchos that they're covered up. They have like scarves over their faces. Think almost like a Wild West gang style. And from this distance, you see that one of them simply holds his hand up, and there's a blue flash, and Raphael just sort of falls back like that, and he just sort of crumples on his back, looking up, and Tazray, he puts his hand like across your chest. Hold on, this is bad. And
no.
I might need some help. Come if you want, but it could get dangerous. And he hauls his axe off the side of the cart, and he starts running forward towards these, I guess, cattle rustlers of some kind.
Jade at this point hops out of the wagon. She's struggling to run the sundress of hers as she ends up hanging on to it, but sides trying to end up keeping pace with this large behemoth of Silver Dragonborn, Tazray, who's charging in with axe in hand. This is her home. She's not going to just let this happen. She can't let this happen.
All right, so that's the scene. We have Tazray, who's up in melee with these cattle rustlers. Dr. Celine, you've seen that the sheriff took some kind of a hit and is crumpled. Norlai, Bright, and the others. What are you doing here? Since Jade is taking some action from the cart, what are you doing in order to step up and try and defend the town? And especially, hey, Jade is on the scene here too.
Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to drag the sheriff back.
Okay, so you go up and you start, you sort of hook through and you start trying to haul him back. Go ahead and give me an athletics, Celine.
Yup. Athletics, which is actually my worst.
Okay.
That's a thing.
No, you're trying. I mean, you're the town doctor, and like everyone seems to see like what you're trying to do here. You're starting to pull back, but you're still there. And you look up, and one of those those dark cattle rustlers is looking down at you. Oh
no.
Simply kind of moves his head to the side, and holds a hand out, and is going to deal. All right, you're going to have that is going to be 10 points of force damage dealt to you.
Okay, give me a second. Because I need to whisper you something.
Sure.
You can't hear me?
I can. I can hear you.
Yeah, I think that might be. I think that might be something on your side. I'll do that. Is that better?
I still got you.
Unless. Yep. So. Okay.
Norlai, as this is going on, what are you doing here? Your brother's probably run out as well from the shop because look, this is everyone's town, and he has to step up also. So what are the Kilmus siblings doing?
I'm probably gonna be like picking up and throwing rocks.
Okay, and what's your brother doing?
He probably has a dagger on him, so he'd probably go up and fight.
Okay, so Jade, yeah, you see the two the very famous tiefling siblings here in town are like trying to drive off these cattle rustlers. And Norlai, you throw a rock and I forget what the whisper command is. Is it like /W or something?
/W,
Yeah,
and then the
/W.
name, yeah. You don't need to type the whole name, just the first few characters.
Oh, got it.
Nice. Because we all have long names.
One of these, so Jada, as you're watching, a couple of them here from this gang that's rolled in. The brother goes up to try and attack, and one of them makes some sort of a gesture, and you see that emerging from his flesh are sort of like curved metal spikes that seem to like just go like just swirl around his head, and he's there in a daze, and turns around, and just in a stupor, looks over at his sister Norlai and lunges with his dagger towards her, and so, Norlai, you're going to take 11 force damage as some sort of a blue energy, like belts into you. And as your brother comes up, he is going to stab you for another 4 damage of piercing. And Norlai, I mean, we're in kind of a side thing. You are your character, but you're not your character. But you've just been really hurt here. So Jade, you see some blue force impactor, and her own brother with this odd something is like grew out of his head, and he came and just put a knife in her belly. Bright, what are you doing in this situation? Cattle rustlers have come. You have your hubby to be here.
Why are you here? I don't know what you want. You can have the stupid cows. You can have, if you want money, you can have the money. I don't know, but just please don't hurt us. We have children. We have families.
Yeah, but that is a response you get from them, and they all of them seem to say the exact same thing in a non-understandable language. And they focus these words on you.
Garbo, we have to run. It's the only way. We have to get out of here. Let's go. Run.
We can't run, dear. They're just gonna follow and cause more terror. We have to do something.
We have to get out of the city. Go back to our village. Here.
If this place, yes, they'll probably attack us next. And you two begin to turn and run, and as you do, another one of these bandits, with a odd like arm movement, like almost as if there's just no elbow or wrist or whatnot, with these odd manipulations, suddenly casts its hands forward, and Jade, you see Bright and Gerbo are enveloped in some kind of it looks like a globe of the night sky has like manifested and has just sort of like sucked up the gnomes that began to run.
Oh boy.
Jade, what are you doing? Like Bright probably pops out for a moment and says, well, I don't know, what would Bright say? Like extending your hand to Jade.
Run! You have to save yourself.
And
save as many people as you can. Get out of here.
A black tendril wraps around her and slurps her back into this globe. Yada 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 Jade.
No. She looks around. She reaches for something that doesn't exist on her hip. She looks around, trying to find any kind, like a rake, something. That she can
Sure, there's a rake on a nearby building, side of a building.
Don't make me do this. Please don't make me do this. And at this point, she looks. She's trying to look, and whoever's remaining, all she can think is she's got to save somebody. She's got to. And then her eyes widen as she starts to think of her family. And she has to run. She has to run to find them, get them home, get them safe. And she starts running. She starts running as fast as her legs will carry her, tearing at her own dress, trying to end up doing whatever she can.
Jade, as you turn and run, you see that the village itself, suddenly this bright sunny sky now appears as an overcast night. But it's still day. It doesn't make sense. Things are dark, but you can see. And you run, and you know that you're running, and you're running in the direction of your home, but it's like you don't get away from Norelai and Celine and even Raphael, who has fallen. And you know, you're running, and you see the building streaking past you, and yet it seems as if these outsiders, these raiders, bandits, whatever they are, and their victims are still orbiting you like the moon around the planet, or the planets around the great star in the middle. And in fact, even as you're running, you first pass by Norelai, and Norelai, who's frozen, except for her head and her face, is frozen in this moment where her brother is viciously gutting her. And roll a perception, Jade. At advantage. You're running by, and you know what Norelai looks like. You've known her for 20, well, I don't know, you might be older than her, but you've known her like all her life. And as you look over, and you see that the knife is plunging in, instead of blood, it appears to be oil. Instead of innards, as her nice dress is torn, and like it's torn from that blue blast, and it exposes, and you see that the knife has cut down the torso. Inside of Norelai seems to be the inside of a puppet, or like something you'd see that's the engine of a mill, or you know, the gearworks of a cartwright. There are just metal bits that are gnashing and spinning, and a couple of them, albeit they're metal pieces, in a gruesome facsimile of life are spilling out as if her innards were doing just that. And you finally then, in that moment, as you slow down and you notice Norelai, you can say something to Jade as she's passing you.
Jade? Why are you still here? Find your family.
No, don't do it. Don't make me do it.
And Jade, as if this clock that had stopped now resumes and speeds up. You're moving, yet you're not. Like you're spinning in a circle. You're getting nowhere, yet you're actually traveling. You come across Celine, but Celine was behind you. Celine was trying to drag Raphael away. And again, the gears slow. Time slows. And you see that several of these bandits have their hands that are very slowly beginning to charge with a blue glow. Celine, you look around, you see that something is about to happen. You also see that Jade, debutante of this quaint country town, is running past you with a frantic look on her face. What do you say to Jade?
It's like, run, get out of here.
And with that, time once again, and two blasts impact either side of the country doctor's head. And instead of biological content spilling forth, it seems like pages of a book just blow and scatter like confetti out from Dr. Celine's neck. And you're running, yet you're not getting anywhere. How are you moving, yet you have no direction? And then you turn a corner as you're running home, and there's that dark orb of the night sky. And Bright and Gerbo, both seemingly fighting against these tarry strands, pulling them back, are holding their hands out. And... Oh, I love the prop. And what would you like to say to Jade as she's running past? I did that too with my headphones earlier.
Sorry.
What a tangled web we weave.
Yeah. So Jade and Gerbo.
I'm sorry.
Your feet and your legs are being devoured, pulled into nothingness. Jade is running past you. You can extend a hand out. What would you two like to say to Jade?
I'm really sorry that you didn't get to bake that banana pie.
I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
that's all.
I'm so sorry.
She says, "Okay, that's all." And then her eyes, like they fold back in her head, and they come back down around, and they keep spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning until just suddenly there's like smoke pouring out of Bright's ears, and her eyes continue to spin like a slot machine, but it doesn't stop, and then just in like a meltdown of heated parts and sparks and color, part of Bright is pulled back in as blackness envelops this otherwise bright, cheery person. And her husband is also consumed. The tendrils like pour into his mouth and just pull him back with because he can't breathe, like he's being filled with this entity. And you run, and down every road, like every side alley, every street, there's more and more of these figures. You can't see them. You can't see what's underneath. They're there. They're keeping up with you. And there's your house, finally, Jade. Your house is in front of you. What are you doing?
Running. I gotta get in. I gotta see if my family's okay. Can't let this happen. Can't let them. We need to get out. I'm gonna find them. I'm gonna get them out. I'm gonna get everybody I can out. I have to. I have to get them out.
As you approach, the door to your house is open, and in fact, it looks like that even one of these figures has been knocked back, and there, standing in the doorway, in a tussle with a second, is your husband, strong, defensive. He managed to land a blow on one of these things, and as you pass by it, you see that that's no person. It's as if it's just a hand that was wearing a hat and wearing like a poncho and wearing the guise of a person, but instead it's just a hand. It's like a forearm with a hand, and it's not moving. And your husband, crack, lands another blow that sends a second one sort of spinning past you. And it once more, you had the right hand, and now there's the left hand that have fallen by your wayside. And he looks at you, Jade, and he holds his hand out. Come on, in kind of a slow motion, as time once more is slowing down, as it has again with all these other people you've passed.
No, don't, please. Don't slow down now.
There's a blue glow from behind you. The sides of your house light up blue brighter and brighter. Very slowly, you just see two streaks of blue energy pass by your shoulders. The first impacts his arm, and it disjoints. Cables come out instead of a fountain of blood. Springs and cables. And the other one matches the same. And so, armless now, your husband sort of falls to his knees and looks up at you. Jade. Falls forward.
She doesn't even question the gears at this point. It doesn't matter. She was so happy. And now it's gone. And it's gone, and she...
From inside the house. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Mom.
No, please. Please don't. Please don't. She walks into house. Please don't.
And you see your daughter on the kitchen floor by the table, and is just sort of there. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Mom. Good morning.
Oh, no. Jade rushes over and she grabs hold of what's left. Her daughter's in her arms, falling to pieces. She's just hanging on, trying to pull the pieces back together, trying to pull them back in. Please wake up.
And as you do so, you're mounding the pieces, and around you, your son is gone. He was by the oven. Looks like he was trying to prepare some kind of a dish.
No.
And just pages of ingredients, lists, various things on written on paper are falling. And as they do, in a similar effect to a modern day printer, a page will fall out. A page will fall out. A page will fall out. And it seems to be stacking like a book.
My son. She holding on to her daughter, hoisting over her shoulder, still carrying her to market. She walks to her son, placing a hand on his shoulder, resting her head against the back of his. Please stop.
These outsiders file into the house. They don't attack you, Jade, but they stand around you. Jade.
Why'd you make me wake up? Why'd you make...
Jade.
She places down the body of her daughter beside her son's. Stands straight, tears running down her face. She turns to these things. Why?
You are the only one, Jade. You are the only one. And they all hold their hands, which are probably just fingers with gloves, having seen their true form, and blue light fills your vision. And Jade, you'll end up waking up in the morning in our normal game time. So, what we're going to do is let's take a couple minutes as a bathroom break, a snack break, and when we come back, I'm going to roll a die, and we're going to find out, does Norelai get the next nightmare, or is it going to be Bright? We'll find out soon. So, I have 1:46 a.m. my time here.
Yep.
If you guys are fine with a shorter one, maybe we'll come back in 5 minutes so we have more time to try and get through things while respecting Lethality's time crunch.
After we fill on it sometimes.
Yeah, we're running a little short on time.
Okay.
But,
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, however long.
5 minutes.
All right. Yep. 5 minutes, and we'll be back.